Hey guys, it's Venom coming at you with another build video, and I have a question for you. Are you really tired of getting Zerged-Down out in PvP? Well, if so, then I've got the build for you. Welcome to the Hermes build. You see people running around in Cyrodiil and they're super tanky, super fast, and they got burst damage, and you thinking, how can that be? How can they be so fast, so tanky, and still do so much damage? They gotta be doing something, right? Well, there's a set in the game that allows you to tank up. You can wear heavy armor and still have max speed. What? Yes. So we're going to get into that. Let's start first with the gear sets. Adept Rider. This is a craftable set. 2-piece, 1487 armor. 3-piece, the same. 4-piece, max health. 5-piece, major gallop and major expedition at all times, increasing your movement speed and mount speed by 30%. We are running 4 pieces heavy, 3 pieces medium. Again, on my guy, I like to run all divines. If you need more crit resistance, by all means, you can switch it up, put on N-Pin or other traits. Maybe you want to go reinforced in some of your pieces. That works too. I have a 1-piece Valken Scoria to help with offensive penetration. It gives 1487. We have the heavy chest for Adept Rider. And then the other set I have is Tarnished Nightmare. This is going to help you with your burst damage. The 2, 3, and 4 piece gives critical chance. The 5 piece, when you deal critical damage to an enemy, glass shards burst 8 meters around them, dealing physical damage to enemies in the burst and applying the Sundered status effect. This effect can occur every 8 seconds, and the damage scales off the higher of your weapon and spell damage. I have Tarnished on for the waist, the hands, and then back heavy on the legs and the feet for Adept Rider. My jewelry, I have Bloodthirsty on all 3 pieces with weapon and spell damage enchantments. My other ring is Oaken Soul. Again, this isn't always about your heavy attack damage because Empower obviously doesn't work against players out in PvP. It does work against the ads. So if you are trying to clear stuff, you know, killing guards and all that, and getting the resources, helping with keeps, I mean, that'll help. But this ring provides a lot of other benefits besides just heavy attack. This is going to give you minor berserk, minor courage, major brutality, major sorcery, major prophecy, major savagery, minor force, minor protection, major resolve, minor mending, minor fortitude, minor intellect, minor endurance, minor heroism, minor slayer, minor aegis, and empower. Alright, we'll take a look at some of the other stuff first. I am a high elf sorcerer. You can run this on any class you want, any race you want. It really doesn't matter. The gear sets is what's most important. But for the Sorc, this is what I have on my bar. I do switch out some of the stuff depending on what I'm doing. Just want to make sure that you guys get your passives for whatever class and race and stuff that you're on. Just go down through here and get all your passives. So we got the Dark Magic, Daedric Summoning, and Storm Calling for the Sorc. The Destruction Staff, make sure you get your passives for it. We are not running any light armor, so that's not really important. But we do have the medium and the heavy, so make sure you get your passes for these. The Mages Guild, we are running Ice Comet, so I do have the passes for it. The Undaunted, if you have this leveled up, try to grab these two. Assault and Support, if you don't have these leveled, try to get these leveled up. These are really useful. I'm a high elf, so whatever race you're on, just make sure you grab your passives. Alright, we're going to take a look at some of the skills. This is kind of a basic layout. I do sometimes change the bound aegis. I will run elemental susceptibility if I'm running into players that are really tanky. You know, you're going to need to debuff them more. That's going to help you do more damage. First off, we have Hardened Ward. This is going to provide you a really hefty ward. Keep in mind, out in PvP, these values get cut in half. If you don't have a pet, this will also heal you for the Hardened Ward. If you do run a pet, and you want to run the other morph, that will also give you a heal. The scales off the higher of your max health or max magic, and it's capped at 72%. Mage's Wrath is your execute ability. Enemies fall below 20% health within 4 seconds. An explosion deals an additional shock damage to them and nearby enemies. What I like to do with my Mage's Wrath is I will preload it. This will last 4 seconds on a target. So if you have somebody you're trying to burst them down, a lot of times what I will do, I will hit them first with this, throw your ice comment, streak at them, stun them, try to burst them down. Streak, again, this is invaluable to have on your Sorc, especially in PvP. This is going to allow you to move around really quick. It has an unblockable stun built into it, and it deals damage. Aegis, this is going to give you even more survivability. It's going to give you the minor protection, giving you more spell resistance and physical resistance, 2974. And it's going to give you 8% more max magicka. Vibrant Shroud, this is your burst heal. This is going to heal you and the allies in the area. You're going to receive minor vitality, increasing your healing received and damage shield strength by 6% for 10 seconds. Enemies are afflicted with major maim, reducing their damage done 10% for 10 seconds. That's very useful, especially when you're going up against multiple people. You know, if you're fighting these ball groups and stuff and they're trying to come in with their bombs, you want to lay this in their path, and it's going to reduce their damage by 10%. For the ultimate, I prefer to use Ice Comet. This is underneath the Mage's Guild skill line. It deals frost damage to all enemies in the area, knocking them down and stunning them for 2 seconds. Reduces their movement speed 50% for 6 seconds, and then after the impact, it continues to deal frost damage every 1 second for 13 seconds. On my bar, this is what I like to run for PvP. I have the Tri-Stat pots. I have defensive potions, immovability with detection, invisibility with expedition. We want to take a look at the character sheet, and I just used my defensive potion, but I want to show you something about this. Notice my health recovery is 4,009. That's pretty beefy. It's because of my CP, the potion that I just used, and everything on my guy. I'm sitting at over 33,000 spell and physical resistance. I've got almost 10,000 penetration, over 35,000 max magicka, health solid at 25k, 14,000 plus stamina, over 1,100 magicka recovery. I got all 64 points into the attributes for magicka. I am running Clockwork Citrus Fillet. This is giving you max health, health recovery, max magicka, and mag recovery. These buffs are covered underneath the Oaken Soul. I have on the Lover Mundus to help with spell and physical penetration for 4489. If you do want to switch up some of your skills, again, it's up to you, whatever you feel like. Sometimes I won't run a ward. Depends on what I'm going up against, what I'm fighting. I may change that out. This skill here, I will oftentimes change it out. I will either run Elemental Susceptibility or Crushing Shock, depending on what I need to do. But both of those are very good skills to have on. Alright, we're going to take a look at the champion points for the blue tree. Mastered Arms, this increases your damage done with direct damage attacks by a total of 6%. Weapon Expert, increase the damage done with light and heavy attacks by a total of 20%. Wrathful Strikes, this gives 205 weapon and spell damage. Untamed Aggressions, 150 and more weapon and spell damage. For the red tree, Celerity is going to increase your movement speed 10%. Strategic Reserve, you get 30 health recovery every 10 ultimate you have. Fortified gives you 1731 armor, and Balanced Vitality is 1400 health. For the green tree, I have Rationer. This adds extra 30 minutes to your food and drink. Liquid Efficiency, you may not use a potion, 10% chance to not consume it. Gifted Riders is going to increase your mount speed 10%, Steed's Blessing, and your out of combat speed by 20%. If you need even more resistances on this guy, oh, by the way, notice that the health recovery is down. It's back down to 3345. So when we use this defensive potion, that shot up your resistances as well as your health recovery. So that's something I wanted to point out to you guys. Okay, so if you needed more tankiness on your guy, you could always switch your Mundus Stone over to the Lady. We'll take a look at this. Now you're looking at 33k for spell and physical. That is going to drop your spell penetration. If you do that, again, you might want to consider switching up your skill, running elemental susceptibility, because you're going to need the penetration. With a defensive pot on, that jacks you up to 38,461 spell and physical resistance. I mean, you're basically a tank, right? But you also have max speed and all this extra mobility. You're not going to get Zerged-Down running this. This is an excellent build to run out in the Imperial City as well. High mobility, high defensiveness. Keep in mind that whenever you hit your dark magic ability, your spell critical rate's going to go up some. We'll take a look at the weapon. It is sharpened trait, disease damage, enchantment. If you guys need even more resistances on this, you can always change out your one piece Falcon Scoria. You can go with Mighty Chewed On. Now you're looking at 40,000 spell and physical resistance. Yeah, it's pretty wild. All right, guys, I have some footage where I was out in Zerged-Down. We'll put it at the end of this. If y'all want to hang out, give it a look. I appreciate it. And thanks again for watching. I'll try to get back to y'all with another video. Have a good one. Oh, there's the camp. Walk back just a step so I can get you. Oh, oh, I blew. What?